Green light given for canters weighing no more than 7 tons to cross Harbour Bridge, and National Oil Spill Plan 90% complete. Hello, welcome to Info Hub. It's Wednesday, September 4. We have lots to tell you today. The green light has been given for canters weighing no more than 7 tons to resume crossing the Demerara Harbour Bridge following emergency repairs to the structure.
The directive was given by Minister of Public Infrastructure David Paterson after careful assessment. Strict measures are in place to ensure that the 7-ton weight limit is enforced and observed until further notice.
They all have to go on the scale and no more than 7 tons.
The minister said work on the bridge continues so that heavier vehicles will be allowed to utilize the bridge.
The bridge, as you said, is still not it's passable, it's still not perfect, but so we want to ensure that we don't cause any worse damage by allowing it. I mean, I know it's inconvenience to a lot of poor people. I mean, maybe for the canter drivers and truck drivers and businesses and so forth, but it would be even more inconvenient if when the bridge is not working for everyone.
Minister Patterson also pointed out that Thursday morning is the earliest possible time that vessels will be able to cross. Isaiah Broffett for InfoHub.
The Civil Defense Commission, CDC, has activated its response mechanism to facilitate assistance and support for the Caribbean island of the Bahamas, which has suffered devastating effects from Hurricane Dorian.
The Civil Defense Commission activated our response mechanism to garner support from the public, garner support from the private sector to send the necessary relief to those persons that are affected. We're hoping to meet the private sector sometime tomorrow to have a meeting and to determine what support they can give. In addition to that, we will be activating a few bank accounts. Sometime today, 1 or 2 bank account information will be made available so that people can make donations.
Director General of the CDC, Lieutenant Colonel Kester Craig, spoke to InfoHub about measures being taken to mobilize and dispatch resources to the hurricane-ravaged island. During an appearance on the NCN radio program Insight, Prime Minister, the Honorable Moses Nagamutu, indicated that the expansion of regional radio stations will also boost awareness of indigenous products.
Reminding of the entrepreneurship grants and loans now available to Indigenous citizens through the efforts of the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu said that the next step is packaging and marketing these products and services. He explained that the 6 regional radio stations commissioned by the coalition government will help to raise awareness countrywide.
That will be very important for us to let the world, first of all, to let our own people know where you could find honey, where you can find casserie, where you can find other products, the crafts that I spoke about. Yes, where you could find these things, the paintings, and it's important.
Prime Minister Nagamutu also noted that a marketing strategy needs to be created for Indigenous peoples with input from their associated organizations, including the National Two Shouts Council. He said the creation of new tongues such as Bartica, Mabruma, Marja, and Letta with their elected councils and associated benefits will also help in this regard.
They will now help to promote the appearance of a commercial center where you can bring products into the market and you could do both wholesale and retail.
The Prime Minister also pointed to the impact of ICT hubs countrywide on increasing awareness and connectivity more than ever. Paul McAdam for InfoHub.
Guyana's National Oil Spill Response Contingency Plan, which is 90% completed, was drafted by local experts in key sectors. In an exclusive interview with InfoHub, Director General of the Civil Defense Commission, Lieutenant Colonel Kester Craig, explained that the planning, drafting, and creation of the plan was all done by local agencies with some technical advice from international bodies.
We did not take the course of action where we bring an expert to develop the plan and give it to us. We decided to use our in-house experts within the country because these people understand their roles and responsibilities far better than the experts. And we came together and find the time to make the sacrifice in developing a plan that's tailored to Guyana and specific to our environment.
It was noted that the plan is being adjusted using some of the components of the International Operator's Internal Response Plan. The Director General stated that the procurement of oil spill response equipment has already commenced.
We've already started the procurement of resources. There are millions of dollars of resources, approximately 4 containers of resources at our warehouse at Demerara. And we're now working with the key agencies to identify who would have some of the key resources and where it will be deployed. Because once something happens, you want to have almost immediate response. And having the resources deployed and having person trained on the resources is very essential in responding and containing and minimizing the impact of an oil spill.
Craig also related that as part of the plan, volunteers are being trained and equipped to respond in the unlikely event of an oil spill on or offshore. Before the end of October, the CDC will host a broader stakeholder engagement. The Ministry of Education is set to include content that coincides with government's Green State Development Strategy in its curriculum. The proposed material was developed by the Department of Energy.
The proposed curriculum guide was handed over today to the Ministry of Education's National Center for Educational Resource Development by the Department of Energy. Led by a working group, the modification to the course of study commenced in October of 2018. The group, chaired by Environmental Policy and Education Coordinator Alvin Dorres, looked at disciplines such as agriculture and forestry, biodiversity, climate change, land geology, and geography. Subjects such as English language, the integrated and agricultural sciences, along with social studies were examined for a comprehensive environmental coverage.
We established this working group and we reviewed the school's curriculum guides in those 4 subject areas named earlier. And we saw that the lack of environmental coverage provided us a great opportunity to propose what could be infused.
The proposal for inclusion in the curriculum will cater for the students in the public and private schools from grades 1 through 9. Accepting the proposed guideline on behalf of the Education Ministry was Director of NSERD Jennifer Cumberbatch. She said the proposals by the Department of Energy is timely and most welcomed.
We are thankful for the tangible way in which the Office of Climate Change has supported us by these suggested inclusions in the curriculum. Well, we call them suggested inclusions because, we will be honest, we have not, I've seen a bit of it and I've recognized that some of it is really good, and so we are grateful, but we have not looked at it in its entirety, but we are really grateful for this tangible effort.
Reporting for InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
Still to come, over 800 Indigenous students issued with scholarships and Kimbia goes online. Details of these after the break.
Are you ready to embark on a truly epic adventure to an undiscovered corner of South America, where some of the most spectacular natural attractions are unveiled within a beautifully diverse landscape? From the wetlands and savannas to the ancient mountains, magnificent waterways, and lush enriching rainforest would provide a vast playground for some of the most exotic and breathtaking creatures on the planet, including many of the world's giant species. This untouched land of mystery and wonder serves up an exclusive experience for travelers. So are you ready for a new, awe-inspiring adventure? Welcome back to nature. Welcome to Guyana.
Thanks for staying with us. Kimbia is yet another community that has bridged the gap between the hinterland and the coast after an ICT hub was opened at the Kimbia Primary School over the weekend.
Commissioning the ICT Hub and Learning Resource Center was Minister of Education Dr. Nicolette Henry, who was accompanied by Minister of Public Health Walter Lawrence. The activity formed part of a day of events centered around preparing the students of Kimbia for their return to school this week. Minister Henry noted that the hub is closely aligned with the government's major focus, which will ensure that all Guyanese can access a better quality of life through the use of ICT.
It is important to understand that over the last 4 years, much consideration and efforts were expended on bridging technological gaps. It is irrefutable that we need technology in every classroom, in every student and teacher's hand, because it is the pen and paper of our time, and it is the lens through which we experience much of our world today.
Meanwhile, Minister Lawrence applauded Rotary President William Boyle for organizing the initiative, noting that it is a step in the direction of development.
This initiative is certainly in sync with His Excellency President David Granger's vision of raising the bar, that is, the level of services and accessibility for those inland locations.
The Rotaract Club of Guyana also hosted a medical outreach and distributed scores of backpacks, lunch kits, stationery, and shoes to the students of the primary school. Over the last few years, 173 ICT hubs were established in communities across the country, particularly in hinterland and riverine communities. Natisha Isaacs for InfoHub.
More than 800 scholarships have been issued to Indigenous students. This is according to the minister within the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, the Honorable Valerie Garrido-Lowe.
For 2019, when you add up the CSEC, CAPE, and NGSA, we have like 818 scholarships for 2019.
Minister Garrido-Lowe, who was at the time appearing on the NCN radio program Insight, said these scholarships are spread out across various institutions and at various levels.
For tertiary institutions, we have GTI, we have 13 in all, 7 males and 6 females. Carnegie, we have 12. Burroughs School of Art, this time we have 4. Normally we have a lot. I have a feeling somewhere they're on their way. Now GITC, we have 21 in all. And of course they're to study in various fields.
Another 17 were also granted to the Guyana School of Agriculture. In addition to this, during Heritage Month observances, students from selected villages will also be taken on tours of landmarks in Georgetown.
Well, they might have to say something about Parliament Building or the gardens, or and they have never seen it. They might just see it in a picture and so on. So we try to give them some exposure where they can actually, walk into these places and know and see and feel how it looks. It's an opportunity of a lifetime for them.
Reporting for InfoHub, Nikosi Bruce.
The Guyana Amazon Warriors will face off with the St. Lucia Zukes on Thursday at the Providence National Stadium in their hunt for their first Caribbean Premier League title.
Head coach of the Warriors, Johan Bote, is confident ahead of the first match based on the batting power and experience in the team's lineup. However, captain of the Warriors, Shoaib Malik, is cognizant of the fact that every match is vital to lifting the trophy.
The process is long. We are not just looking at the trophy. We are just looking at the thing what we can do, what we have in our hands, and that is to stay consistent in the tournament. And the first few games are very crucial for any team, and we are looking forward to do well, especially we starting from home games.
The Zukes, who are yet to make it to a final round, are looking to make their debut appearance there. Captain of the Zukes, Darren Sammy, notes that winning games is the first step.
Simple, we got to win games. You can't get the title if you don't win cricket matches, and that would be our focus. We have the guys in the dressing room who could make that happen, and we're just looking forward to starting here against a very consistent, Amazon Warriors team.
Cricket fans can expect an explosive match between the two teams filled with hard-hitting batsmen. Guyanese are invited to come out in their numbers and support the Warriors in their quest for the ever-elusive CPL title. Isaiah Braffett for InfoHub.
Here is a reminder to check out our Facebook and Instagram pages for a special program highlighting this year's Indigenous Heritage Village, Rivers View in the Upper Demerara, Upper Berbice region. That's all for today. Connect with us on WhatsApp, Facebook, and YouTube. Much more news is on our website, dpi.gov.gy, and pop over to Instagram for the latest photo updates at DPI Guyana. Your bridge and weather reports are up next. Goodbye for now.